not something that you want to see happen to your fruit trees. This limb is broken because of the excessive weight from too much fruit this season. My name is Gary Heilig, and I'm Horticulture Educator for Michigan State University Extension in Ingham County. And to prevent limbs from breaking is a major reason why we thin fruit. Size is also affected by the number of fruits that are on the tree, and if you want large fruit, thinning is necessary, but it does tend to reduce the overall yield. You may have fewer peaches in a bushel, but you'll still have a bushel. Another fact to consider is that flower buds for the next year's crop are formed in August during the current growing season. If trees are not thinned when there is a heavy crop load, the plants will not have enough energy to produce flower buds for the next year's crop. If you don't thin in years of heavy crop loads, your trees will likely enter a cycle of biennial bearing, which means light to no crops one year and heavy crops the next. Thinning is most effective on apples, pears, peaches, and sometimes plums. So what about timing? You might ask, when is the best time to thin? In our area, fruit trees experience what we call June drop. This is where excess fruits, especially those that have not been fully pollinated or have insect or disease damage, tend to dry up and fall off of the tree. Immediately after June drop is the ideal time to hand thin. In Michigan, this is usually mid to late June. Let's talk a little bit about spacing. When fruits are growing in clusters such as apples, remove all but one fruit. Keep the largest and the best looking one in the cluster. Step 2, space the remaining fruits between 4 to 8 inches apart on the limb, depending on what type of fruit we're talking about. Apples and pears should be spaced at 4 to 6 inches apart. Plums should be 4 to 5 inches apart, and peaches should be 4 to 8 inches apart. Always remove the worst looking fruit first and those damaged by insects and diseases. On very young trees, especially along the leader, when you're using like a central leader system, you should remove all fruits because heavy fruit loads can cause that leader to bend over and it will make the tree look a little odd. Peaches can also be thinned by hitting branches with a rubber hose or a piece of wood with something soft wrapped around it. This is a quick method of removing fruit and will help to lessen the need for hand thinning. Proper pruning can also help reduce the amount of thinning that is ultimately required. By removing wood when you're pruning, potential flowers and fruits are also removed. This can lessen the amount of hand thinning later. Commercial producers use chemicals such as NAA and NAD to thin fruits. 7 insecticide will also cause some fruit drop if applied at the right time, but I don't recommend chemical thinning for backyard orchards because the products must be precisely measured, precisely timed, and weather conditions are critical for satisfactory results. If you don't get it right, you can knock all the fruit off the trees. Now, if you didn't get around to thinning this time and you have a very large crop load, it's not a bad idea to prop up the branches. Like this would have been nice on this particular peach tree right here, and it might have prevented this crack. But you still can thin the fruit, which can help reduce the weight on the limb, but it won't necessarily help with the overall size of your fruit if you thin too late.